Hey everybody, this is Kim Danke, the Shibboleth new member fast track instructor, and it is Sunday night, my favorite night of the week because I get to do a lifestyle overview. And this is a great night. If you have friends who are interested in learning more about Shibboleth, this kind of tells them everything that we do and why we do it. There's a lot more that you can learn, but seriously, if you just listen to tonight, you can start applying these things tomorrow and get great results this week. Okay. So when you hop on in the Zoom room, please take a second to say hello, just like Teresa just did. Let me know if you are brand new, if you're here for a refresh. I also love to know where you're from. And if somebody told you about Shibboleth, please tell me that too. If you are with us on Facebook and you're a member, please hit that share button so that we can let other people know what Shibboleth is all about. And if you're on Facebook and you don't know what you've gotten yourself into, you are going to be super excited about learning how to eat in a way that controls insulin. I know. Insulin sounds like it would be to do with diabetes, pre-diabetic conditions, but it has a lot to do with health in general, and one of those things is weight. If you would like to get a Shibboleth membership, we have a membership available for $79, and you can get that at shibbolethdeals.com. shibbolethdeals.com. Right now it's $79. That's because our founder's birthday is this Tuesday and we're celebrating his birthday. And that $79 is a lifetime membership, not monthly, not annually, lifetime right now. Okay, so go ahead and get your membership. And first class is always free, so feel free to stay with us tonight. Let's see who is in the Zoom room with us. We got Teresa, and let's see, we got Travis Witchman. Awesome. David Bacon told you about it. That's awesome. We're glad you're here. Hey, Janet from Louisiana. Samantha Carter. Hello. Previously a Shibby, but fell off. Glad to be back. We're glad you're back, and we're glad that you knew where to come. Hey, Patricia. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I got my hair cut yesterday. I mean, a lot. Hey, Donna, let's see, here for a refresh from Surprise, Arizona. How fun. And I am 4 ounces away from earning my 20-pound badge. Congratulations. Let's see, Teresa. A member, Erica White referral, 6 to 7 weeks, down 20 pounds, Panama City Beach, Florida, or Panama City, Florida. Awesome. Congratulations. And Erica is so sweet. Hey, Erica from coastal Georgia, 1 week down, still a rookie. Yes. Okay. That's awesome. You're going to learn everything you need to know. And hey, Brenda from Anthem, Arizona. Wow. We've got some people from all across the country on here tonight. I love that. I love that. So thank you. Let's see who's on Facebook. Hey, Kim Day, thank you. Thank you. This is the shortest I've had it in a long time, but I just wanted it off my neck. Hey, Tamar, I'm glad that you are feeling better. Oh, that sounds so good to hear that. Yes, and so she has great results. She's had COVID. Now she's here for a refresh. That's awesome. Thank you for tagging your friends, Kim, and thank you, Alicia Fort Oglethorpe. Y'all, Alicia Edwards is with us and she's lost 68 pounds. It is so exciting. Awesome. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Appreciate that very much. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. There's no reason to delay, is there? I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. I'm going to share a PowerPoint, and this PowerPoint is accessible to you. Thank you, Teresa. Is accessible to you after tonight's webinar. Okay, it will be right under this video that's inside the website. So if you kind of want to go back and look at anything, you can. But if you're going to do anything tonight, it would be take some notes. Okay, take some notes. And really, to tell you the truth, there's only 5 things that you need to do to be successful in Shibboleth. You need to drink at least 64 ounces of water, write down everything that you eat in the right food combinations, and that one's going to take you a day or 2 to learn, and then, you know, a week or more to perfect it, kind of thing. And portion control your food and stop grazing. Those are the 5 things. If you were to start doing those 5 things, you're going to get great results. Why does this webinar then take an hour to do? Because I like to give little explanations as to why you're doing those things in hopes that it motivates you to do those things on a daily basis. See, what we're going to give you in Shibboleth is now the standards for eating. You know how in life there's You need to have some standards by which you live. Otherwise, you don't have any, and it just doesn't really go that well. Okay. So we've got to learn the standards for eating. These are the standards. And then we've got some daily disciplines that you're going to meet. I call them objectives. What are my daily objectives? Which ones am I going to meet? But do you know what Shibboleth really is? A management system. It's a management system. Weight, just like anything else in life, needs to be managed for it to go well. And I'm going to teach you the management system tonight. Okay. Hey, Angelia, I'm glad you're here with us. Awesome. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Emily. Thank you. Thank you, Emily. Okay. So you are watching a webinar about the Shibboleth lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. This is not a diet. Now, a lot of people do come into this lifestyle thinking diet mentality, and I say totally fine, go for it, it's okay. But by the time you get to your goal weight, you need to completely understand that this cannot be a diet. It's got to be your lifestyle. Diets are typically short term, and lifestyle is forever. Hey, Michelle, glad you're here. Hey, Teal, glad you're here too. Okay, so it's a lifestyle. And what I go over tonight, it's the terms that we use. What is this new language you're going to be reading about, you're going to be talking about, so that you can live this lifestyle and have the conversations that you want to have with other people? It's really quite easy, but if no one has ever told you the terms that we talk in, you're not going to know. So here I am to teach you those. So the basics are this. We have two modes in Shibboleth, just two modes. You are either in weight loss mode or maintenance. Weight loss just simply means that you haven't gotten all the way to your goal weight yet. You would be in weight loss mode. Maintenance mode is once you've gotten to your goal weight, you want to live out this the rest of your life, maintaining it. Okay. This is going to be the most practical, most sustainable, most fun, community-driven lifestyle or eating plan you have ever been a part of. The value that you get out of Shibboleth is going to be worth thousands of dollars, not just this minuscule amount that you paid to get in. You're welcome, Juanita. Glad you're here. So there are three differences between the two modes. One, the number of holidays that you can use in a calendar month. I'm mentioning calendar. I want you to already be thinking management system. We manage the month, we manage the day, we manage the meal. It's a management system. Okay. The second thing is how you eat fruit. Simply how you eat fruit. I know that sounds funny, but I'll tell you in just a minute what that's about. And number three, your mindset. And I kind of already said it, but you might be starting this off as a diet, but you've got to be living it as a lifestyle by the time you get to maintenance mode. Okay. There are two types of days in the Shibboleth lifestyle: a perfect day or a holiday. You know how in the book of Revelation it says, I wish that you were hot or cold, but you were lukewarm, therefore I spewed you out of my mouth. We are going to have a perfect day or a holiday. We're not going to have okay days. Do you know a lot of people's just okay days got them where they wanted to turn around and lose some weight? Okay, so we're going to do right, or we can have a holiday. Okay, but technically a holiday, I mean, okay day, we call it a holiday. So it's a perfect day or a holiday. Now, in your journal, if you have joined recently as a lifetime member and you go into your journal to journal your type of day and you click on that little drop down menu and about 10 or 11 options pop up and you go, wait a minute, she said there were just two types of days. I want you to know all of those other types of days, except for the word unsure, which y'all don't need to mark unsure. It's either a holiday or a perfect day, but or holiday or the rest, all those other types of days are advanced versions of a perfect day. And in the first 7 to 10 days, or really first month, I need you to have blinders on and not even concern yourself with those other days, okay? You've got to know the basics before you go to the advanced, okay? The advanced stuff doesn't make sense if you don't know the basics. So we're just focused on perfect day or holiday, perfect day or holiday. By the end of this week that we spend together, I will take you up to the next level, okay? But perfect day or holiday is all we're concerned about right now. So how many holidays are allowed? In weight loss mode, you can use up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. Think about that. You just need to do right 80% of the time in a month's time for you to get results, okay? So up to 6 holidays in a calendar month. Once you get to maintenance, you can use up to 12 holidays in a calendar month. That's almost half the month. And you might be thinking, how? How could I have almost half the month kind of doing what I want to do and still maintain my results? The trick is those other 18 or 19 days in the month truly need to be right and tight, perfect days. Okay. But anything that you hear me say in these classes and in fast track is just going to be the 6, because most of us starting right here are in weight loss mode. I just want you to know what you can look forward to for the rest of your life once you've used weight loss mode. See, weight loss mode is just a season of life. It is a tool that you are using to get to maintenance. And then maintenance, that's just the rest of your life, okay? Yolanda, great question. She's asking, is the holiday one meal? Technically, Yolanda, if you lick the dust off of a Dorito, it's a holiday, but you could do whatever you want to. Now, if you are not a hog troffer now, I not say that out of love, because many of us have been a hog troffer. If you are not a hog troffer now, then don't go start hog trophing just because you're having a holiday, okay? But a holiday, Yolanda, is simply a day where you are not meeting some component of the Shibboleth shield. And I'm going to go over that in just a second. So a holiday is one meal all day or simply licking the dust off of a Dorito, okay? Not getting your water in would be a holiday. Having a little bit too much portions would be a holiday. So how do you have a perfect day? You follow the Shibboleth shield. After 2 perfect days, you get your body into EFB, baby, efficient fat burning. Okay, this is not keto, it's nothing like that. But what you're doing is you are getting your body into a state where it's efficiently gonna burn fat. And there's some reasons for that, and I'll explain over the course of the week and partly tonight, but you'll start to learn that. But after 2 perfect days, you get into efficient fat burning. What do you have to do to have a perfect day? You're going to drink your water. You're going to journal your foods. You're going to eat in the right food combinations, which is eating in a way that controls insulin. You're going to eat the right portions, and you're going to have good timing. There's lots of strategies about timing, but we specifically want you to go 4 to 6 hours between meals because that gives your body a break from digesting. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute, but we are trying to stop grazing with our timing component. So number 1, water. You want to drink at least a half a gallon of water, shooting for a gallon. So anywhere in between 64 ounces to 128 ounces of water is good. Okay. A dehydrated body will not efficiently give up fat or waste. So that is number 1 in having a perfect day. If you don't get your water in, you don't call that a perfect day. Okay. I laugh and tell people in class a lot of times, if you got 63 ounces of water in and you're walking up to the bedroom and you're like, oh no, I only got 63 ounces of water, walk to the bathroom sink, turn on the water and get that last ounce in. You're being true to yourself by getting those things in. So make sure you get in at least 64 ounces of water. If you start slipping in the smallest areas, you'll slip in more. Okay, so let's just hold it right and tight. Number 2, journal. This is huge in the area of behavior modification. It helps you do things more mindfully rather than mindlessly. It helps you do things more conscientiously than just unconsciously. How many of you have eaten unconsciously? Me. Okay, so we're going to do things more consciously. When we are aware of the decisions that we are making, we can make a better decision. When we have to slow down to journal what we're eating, we can think about things and make a good decision. So if you bite it, you write it. If you nibble it, you scribble it. If you drink it, you ink it. And if you hog it, you log it. Okay. We are going to write down everything that we eat. This is going to do a couple of things. One, if you need help from a mentor, we'll be able to look at your journal and tell you where you need to tweak things. Okay. If you are not writing down what you're eating, we cannot help you because people don't remember what they've eaten from day to day. I promise you, you might think you will, but you won't. We've had enough experience with that. So you got to write it down. Two, if you've had really great weight loss weeks, you are making your future meal plans. Okay. So you write them down. You can actually print out your journals, 3-hole punch them, put them in a binder. Okay. And you can have future weeks meal plans. So we're going to journal what we eat. Number 3, combinations. We're going to eat properly combined meals. We're going to eat in a way that controls insulin, aka the fat bus. Properly combined meals keep away the fat bus. So the fat bus is insulin. Insulin is a growth hormone. There are a lot of growth hormones in our body, but not all of them are focused on fat storage, and insulin is. It is a fat storage growth hormone. I don't know about you, but I do not want a fat storage growth hormone running around in my body. I just don't want it happening. So think about what age you stopped growing. Whatever age that was, if you are then running insulin through your body all the time, you're not growing taller, growing wider. Hey, Debbie, you're growing wider. Okay, so we do not need this insulin running through our body. It also helps to control insulin, lots of other health issues too. This one is a biggie. Okay, this one's a biggie. Water, you can start getting your water in and making sure that you do that and measuring it. Journaling your food, simply writing that all down. Okay, this one, it's not hard, but it does take hearing it and knowing what to do. I'm going to do one slide on it tonight. I'm going to do 1 full hour on it tomorrow night. And all throughout the rest of the week at 7:30, we're going to be learning parts of the website that is going to help you find meals and foods that you like. You don't have to eat anything on Planet Shibboleth that you don't like. There's plenty out there to be eaten. And we'll find the things that you like, okay? Number 4 is portions. We're going to eat properly portioned meals from a 6 to 8 inch plate using the 2-hand rule. Now, when we have an 8-inch plate, I'm not talking the 2-inch rim around the edge. It's really the center portion. But I like to tell you this, no matter what size plate you have, it's going to be your 2 hands. You close your fingers up as close as possible, move your thumbs out of the way. You put your hands together as close as possible. You then lower your hands down over your food. And you don't want to be able to see your food sticking out from underneath your hands. Your stomach is not bigger than this. Take your hands right now and put that like that and put that over your tummy. Your stomach is not bigger than that. Now, it currently might be stretched out to be bigger than that, but the great thing about bodies is they will heal. If we start doing the right thing for our body, it will heal. So all we got to do is start eating for the size person we want to be, and our body will heal and go there. Okay, so we're going to have the right portions. So we've just been over 4 of the 5 parts of the shield. 1, water. 2, journal. 3, combinations. 4, portions. Those are the things that you want to make sure that you have met every single day in order for you to call it a perfect day. Now, just to give you a tip, I journal in the morning. I know if today is going to be a perfect day or a holiday because I determine it. I determine my day. My day does not determine me. What that means is if you have things go wrong in a day that would normally tend to send you off on an eating binge or something, you've got to say to yourself, oh, no, 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 I already marked a perfect day. I'm sticking with that perfect day. That type of mindset will help you get the results that you want and change habits, because it's all about changing habits. But we do have a fifth component to the shield that is ultra important, okay? But it is not required to hit this one exactly right, because we all live different lifestyles, right? We all have different waking times. We have different job start times. We get off at different times. We have different family situations, and we've got just different timing going on. So what we do is we tell you how to optimize this one. You just have to figure out how this will work within your world, okay? So up to 3 meals a day is what you could do. You could think about it as breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but up to 3 meals a day, 4 to 6 hours apart. So let's say that you eat breakfast at 8, you eat lunch at noon, and let's say that you eat dinner at 6. That would be 4 hours between breakfast and lunch, and that'd be 6 hours between lunch and dinner. That would be great timing, okay? So that's really what you should shoot for, okay? But if you have not that timing necessarily, but just 3 meals. But if you have a moment where Travis calls it mental weakness. Travis is our founder, by the way, and you'll get to know him next week after I send you off to learn from him in the silver level daily doses. But he calls it a moment of mental weakness, because physically we could make it from breakfast to lunch, lunch to dinner, and dinner to bedtime. It's that our mind wants a little something, our tongue wants a little something, maybe our belly wants a little something, okay? Janet. Are you back, Janet, now? I hope you're back. So if you have a moment of mental weakness, you can utilize a freebie, an extra, or a snack. Okay, freebies, extra, or a snack. We're going to learn more about what all those things are over the course of this week, but freebies can technically be eaten at any time, except for I do teach people that we don't just randomly add freebies to meals, because we're still just trying to eat what fits under here. And if you think, oh, it's a freebie, I can eat as much as I want, you're still stretching your stomach out, even if you just ate like 3 plates of broccoli. That'd be a freebie, but it wouldn't be right because it'd be way over the portions. Okay. So, so back to that. I don't like for people to just eat freebies unless they just need it. Okay. You can use it if you need it though. An extra is something just a little extra. I always just give this example. When you're walking out of a restaurant and they have a little Andes mint sitting there and you just pick it up, that's something a little extra. Or a snack, you know what a snack is. But keep in mind that we need to stop grazing, okay? This guy grazes. He grazes. This cow. Now, this cow has a stomach with 4 chambers designed for grazing. Our stomach does not have 4 chambers. We were not designed for grazing. I want you to think about all the commercials that go on out there about digestive issues. I want you to think of all the conversations or the Facebook posts and other things that you've seen people having digestive issues. It is because we are never giving our body a break from digesting. We're eating one meal, packing in some more food mid-meals, having lunch, packing in more food, eating dinner, then after dinner, packing in more food. Think of the digestive system as a machine. If you have a machine that you never give a break, it's eventually going to break down. And there's a lot of digestive issues going on out there, and it's because we're overfeeding ourselves. So we're trying to stop grazing. So on this one, in order to meet your timing one, you don't want more than 3 meals a day, okay? But see how it says 4 to 6 hours apart? Let's say that you went to work and you ate breakfast at 8, you were planning on going to lunch at noon, but everybody at work wanted to go at 11. That's no big deal. You know, it's 3 hours, it's not 4, but if you still have a properly combined, properly portioned meal on your plate, that's still fine. Okay. That's not going to throw you off of having a perfect day. These are for optimization. Okay. Now, where it can throw you off of having this is if you have 2 extras or if you have 2 snacks, then obviously we'd be reverting back to our portions on component number 4 at that point, and that would be too much. Okay, so just kind of keep that in mind. But in this component, there's good, better, and best. If you had breakfast and then mid-morning you had an extra, and then you had lunch, and then mid-afternoon you had a snack, and then you had dinner, and then all night long you ate freebies, what does that look like? It looks like grazing. It looks like grazing, but technically that would be a perfect Shibboleth day if you had your water, you journaled all your food, it was all in the right combinations, or it was approved freebie, an approved extra, and an approved snack, and it was all the right portions. It's still, that would be a perfect day, okay? But is there better? Yes. Maybe you eliminate that extra and that snack, and if you just have the moment of mental weakness, you do a freebie. And then maybe you eliminate the freebie and you're just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay. If you don't eat breakfast, it's okay. You do not have to eat breakfast, but there are some strategies that you can switch around, like my friend Janet Wilson and I talked about this week, and she's had great success. I mean, great success switching around a little bit of timing things. So we can talk about that later, but we're going to go back to component number 3 now, combinations. Combinations is eating in a way that controls insulin. How do you put together a properly combined meal? Well, you simply need to learn that there are 7 categories of food. All foods that roam the earth and grow from the earth or swim in water go in this somewhere. Okay. And they make it into these categories based on their nutritional profile and how they respond when you eat them. Let's see, Becky, I may have missed it, but is water just plain water, or could it be? Okay, so Becky, it's just plain water. So what I want to do is if I want to have a Crystal Light or something like that, I would at least get my 64 ounces in, Becky, and then maybe treat myself with 1 Crystal Light, maybe at lunch or at dinner or something like that. But the water that you can count, y'all, is just plain water. Now you could add a little bit of lemon or a little bit of lime to it, and it would still count as plain water, but no water additions count towards the 64. Great question, Becky. So there are also just some man-made foods that'll go into these things too. See, that's one of your perks of being a member, is that you have a food library. And if it's in the grocery store and we've seen it and had an opportunity to have a look at it, we'll tell you whether we'll have it in the food library, whether or not it's approved. We'll tell you what category it goes in. We'll tell you the serving size, and we'll give you any other details and descriptions. I like to say this: I no longer wonder and wander in the grocery store wishing I knew what was best for me. I have it. It's in the food library. So we're going to learn these what foods go in here. If you are taking notes tonight, please do me a favor and write, maybe turn your paper sideways, or however big you write. You may want to leave a little bit of space to write some foods down. I may even do it on 2 pages, but write 1 through 7, right? You can write 1 through 7 on there. Okay. And if you write 1 through 7 on there, I'll tell you what to do with that next. But that's going to be the start of a place this week. Then you can start writing your favorites in each of those lists. It's very important that you come up with your personal lists of favorites. So category 1 is a lean protein, and you're going to see the abbreviation LP. Category 2 is a fibrous carb, or FC. Category 3 is an energy carb, EC. Every once in a while, you'll see complex carb written there, but we mostly say EC, energy carb. Category 4, protein plus fat, PF. Category 5, fruit, FR. And occasionally you'll see antioxidant carb written there, AC. Category 6 is superfood, SF. And category 7 is shellfish, SHF. And you'll see that what I have listed there is shellfish is really just a lean protein. Okay, it's really just a lean protein. So when we look at category 1, all fish is in category 1, but all the other critters that live in water, whether or not they have a shell, are shellfish. Okay, that's just the category it goes in. So all fish is in category 1. The rest of the critters are in category 7 that live in water, whether or not they have a shell. But it's just a lean protein. It got pulled off of category 1 just to create some separation too, but also because of medical reasons and biblical reasons, and sometimes taste reasons. People don't like them. Okay, some do, some don't. But medical and biblical is the main reason that it got pulled off. Some people don't eat them for those reasons. Okay, so when we look at lean protein, I just mentioned fish. So if you like fish, write fish down under your number 1. Chicken breast is there. Egg whites are there. Category 2, fibrous carbs, broccoli, green beans, cauliflower, and this is usually a hallelujah moment for most people, over 60 approved bread or bread type items. We'll talk more about that tomorrow night. Energy carbs, this is where all potatoes are. Corn, tomatoes, onions. Category 4, protein plus fat, whole eggs, all cuts of steak, most pork products, fruit, all fruit is in fruit. Category 6, superfood. If you're making notes, please write this down. A food qualifies to be a superfood if it has all 4 macronutrients in it. All 4 macronutrients. It's got water in it. Yes, we consider water a macronutrient. It's the number 1 macronutrient. It's a 0-calorie macronutrient. Number 2, protein. Number 3, fat. Number 4, carbs. So superfood has all 4 of those things in it. And shellfish, and some examples of superfoods would be all your nut butters, most darker colored beans, and avocados are there. Category 7, shellfish. That's all the other critters that live in water that aren't fish. Shrimp, lobster, crab, and so forth. Okay, there's 7 categories there. 5 of the categories do not even have to be combined at all. So I want you to circle the next 5 numbers that I say. Number 1, number 2, number 4, number 6, and number 7. So 1, 2, 4, 6, and 7. Circle those. Your number 3, your number 5 is not circled. Those cannot be eaten alone. So let's talk about some of the general rules for combining. So lean protein, fibrous carb, protein plus fat, superfoods, and shellfish could all be eaten alone. Now, most of the time, are you going to be eating those alone? Not necessarily. But we teach you how to eat in all food situations. Not every eating situation that you have is going to be a full out Sunday dinner. Sometimes you just have to make a good decision at the moment, and you're not in the optimal eating situation. Maybe you've gone over to somebody's house and you're like, ooh, I don't want to eat all of that, but they got shrimp, boiled shrimp. I'm going to eat some boiled shrimp. You eat boiled shrimp? Okay. It works out fine. You can do that. But you've got to be able to make good choices in all the different situations. So you can eat those by themselves. So number 3, energy carbs, and number 5, fruit, must be eaten properly. In fact, I always tell everybody, just think ding, 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 ding. You need to have an alarm going off in your head for all the energy carbs you like, all the fruit you like, because they must be combined properly. They've got to be eaten with a lean protein, and that lean protein can come from category 1 or category 7, and they need to be eaten with a fibrous carb. Okay, so if you want to eat a category 3 energy carb, it must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So let's just do a little example. Let's say that you want to have some corn. Yeah, Christina, you can watch it later. It's recorded. It's recorded. It's I kind of house the 7 nights of videos in lap 2, where it says watch the 7 nightly webinars in fast track. It'll be right there, Christina. So you can catch back up on it. So let's say that you want to have some corn. Okay, we got our 2 hands, right? Corn, it's going to sit about right there. And it's going to be about 1/4 of a cup, because that's really all it's going to fit underneath there. About 1/4 of a cup. But you've got your mind saying, ding, ding, ding. Corn is an energy carb. It must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. So maybe you do chicken breast, green beans, and corn. I like to keep it simple in the beginning just so that people can fully understand what this looks like. So the corn, this is the story. This is the story. This is the nutritional story. This is the response that is going to happen in your body when you eat this meal. The corn is going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin. That's what happens. But now that you're learning this about Shibboleth, you know you're going to put it with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. The protein in that chicken breast and the fiber in those green beans are going to neutralize the insulin release that came out because of the corn. You have just used food as medicine. But there's a couple of things really important to understand. You didn't overeat the corn. Okay, it wasn't like you had dose after dose after dose after dose after dose of insulin coming out because you ate a 1-pound potato or something like that. Okay, so you ate a reasonable amount of corn, and the food that you ate with it could deal with it. There's also really no fat in that meal. See, it's not that corn's got fat in it, it's just the catalyst to fat storage if you had eaten fat with it, but you didn't eat fat with it. You had a lean protein with it, and you had a fibrous carb with it. So there's no fat in there to be captured by that insulin release. Remember I said insulin is the fat bus? You do not want fat out in your system at the same time as insulin. Well, you had insulin come out, but you didn't have any fat in there. And you used the food to neutralize the insulin release that came out because of the corn. So that's the whole premise right there. You just learned the secret. That is the secret to weight loss, because you're not going to be storing new fat with the way that you're going to be eating. Okay, Janet, on this particular combination chart, you don't see 3s. Oh, wait, 3 and 7. Yeah, you can do that. But here's the thing. You can do that, Janet. It's on the advanced combination chart. This is a simpler combination chart for people just starting in their first 7 to 10 days. Technically, you could go ahead and have an energy carb with shellfish and a fibrous carb from day 1. Technically, you could have that from day 1. But what we like to do is help people get the best results. And if they're willing to remove energy carbs and fruit for about a week, you can just get some phenomenal jump start on it. Okay. But yeah, no problem. It's totally fine. It's a great question. It's a great question. And I'm glad you asked it. So on Friday night, though, and y'all could go ahead and look at lap 6 and print the advanced combination chart. It does happen to be my favorite combination chart, and it's the one that I used from the very beginning. But this one would get you better results because it doesn't have any energy carbs and fruit on there. So, so we're going to read what that we're going to explain what this chart is too. So let's look at fruit. If you want to eat fruit, it must be eaten with a lean protein and a fibrous carb. Now, let's say that you want to have a brown bag lunch and you are going to make you want an apple. It would be a small apple, not the apple the size of your hand, a small apple. And maybe you get some deli turkey meat that's approved. That would be a lean protein. And you get a Olay Extreme Wellness high fiber tortilla. That would be a fibrous carb. You could even add additional fibrous carbs to that. Maybe you want some lettuce or some spinach in there. You could do that. And then maybe you get a little Laughing Cow cheese wedge and use that as a spread on your tortilla. You wrap that up. You have a really nice wrap. Then you can eat that apple. That apple is going to elevate your blood sugar. Your pancreas is going to secrete insulin, but the lean protein in the turkey, the deli turkey meat, and the fiber in that fibrous carb tortilla and anything else you might have put in there is going to neutralize the insulin release from the apple. So that's how you can do that. And we'll learn other ways to do fruit throughout the week. Tonight's just the overview, okay? But what I do want you to understand is that fruit, remember how I said that there was 3 differences between the 2 modes? So we got weight loss mode and maintenance mode. One difference is how you eat fruit. When you are in weight loss mode, fruit must be combined properly. But when you get to maintenance, if you're eating a meal, it should be properly combined to call it a perfect day. But you can also have fruit as a snack if you wanted to. But you could not do that in weight loss mode. Because even though fruit is good for you with these antioxidants and everything, they're good. They got a lot of phytonutrients in there. So they're wonderful. But if you are in the nutritional situation of needing to lose excess body fat, then we've got to treat fruit differently during that time. Remember, it's a season. You're treating fruit differently during that time to get the results that you want. Once you get to maintenance, all you're doing is maintaining, and a little bit of insulin release from some natural sugar from some high quality fruit is not going to hurt you at that time. But during weight loss, we're trying to get results. Yes, Janet. Janet just said, no wonder Weight Watchers didn't work. Unlimited fruit. Yes, and it breaks my heart every time I see one of my friends posting about this massive bowl of watermelon they're eating and they don't get results. Okay. Janet said it. That's awesome. It wasn't me. Protein plus fat. Let's talk about what you don't eat with that. Okay, see this word right here? F-A-T, fat, not a bad word. Our body actually needs fats for certain functions. And when we eat good, high quality fats in a portion controlled way, our body is going to use that as energy and it's going to dissipate as heat. But if you overeat it, that's where the problem comes in. Also, if you eat it with things that bring an insulin release, it's going to get stored. So we're not going to eat category 4, protein plus fats. And if you're writing notes, write a note. With energy carbs, which is category 3, fruit, category 5, or superfoods, category 6, because all of those bring an insulin release. So we're not going to eat it with fat. Let's use the classic plate of a steak and baked potato. You eat the potato. There's really no fat in potato. I looked it up one time. It's like 0.5. So that's hardly anything. It's just that potato would be the catalyst to the fat storage. So you eat the potato, your blood sugar elevates, your pancreas secretes insulin. Y'all getting a theme here? This is what happens. Your pancreas secretes that insulin to deal with the blood sugar elevation from the potato. But it gets super excited when it realizes you ate it with some steak. It goes, woo, woo, let me go pick up that fat. Let me go and pick that up. Imagine children standing out at the end of the driveway or at the front of their neighborhood waiting on that big yellow bus to come by. It's going to pick those kiddos up and take them to their destination, which is the school. The fat bus, which is insulin, is going to go collect all of the fat from the steak and take it to its destination. Imagine, where's the destination? Yesterday in class, I heard thighs. I've heard butt and gut. I've heard underneath the arms. I've heard right here in the cheeks. Wherever the destination is on your body, which is pretty much everywhere, it's going to take it there. And we do not want that to be happening. So we don't eat protein plus fat with anything that brings an insulin release, and that's going to be your energy carbs, your fruit, or your superfoods. Now let's look at this combination chart right here. There's 3 colors. I'm going to start in this blue column. This blue column is fast weight loss. Why? Because it's different than what you did before you came to Shibboleth. The yellow column is faster weight loss, and the red column, you are blowtorching fat like you'd blowtorch butter. It's coming off. It's coming off, baby. Now I want to make a little picture here. We're all going to go to the beach, okay? And some of us are going to take the scenic route. This will be the blue column. Some of us are going to take the highway, be the yellow column. Some of us are going to take the interstate. That would be the red column. Are we all going to get to the beach? Yes. The blue column would just get there a little bit slower than the yellow column and then the red column. So it just depends on how fast you want to get there. But also think about this. When you go to the beach, most of the time you're not just on the scenic route. You're not just on the highway. You're not just on the interstate. Usually you take a little combination of them all. Most of the time you're on the highway or the interstate more than the blue. So if that's the way that you want to, you can do any of these, okay? You can do any of these, but if you're looking for your fastest, I would stick in the red and the yellow to start and throw in some blue every once in a while, okay? Having a blue might even make you feel like you're having a holiday when you're really not. There's lots of different things, and we'll talk about that on Tuesday night, about my beginning and how I felt like I was having a holiday, but I wasn't. We'll talk about that Tuesday night, but let's read how this reads, okay? Let's look at the blue column, the very first line in the top. This reads like this. Oh, by the way, this plus sign does not mean math. Category 1, that's that one. These numbers here, these numbers do not mean quantity. This is the category number. So this reads category 1 lean protein eaten with category 6 superfood eaten with category 2 fibrous carb. That's how you'd read that. MCT is an oil. We're going to talk about that next. And that's just simply, you've got to be able to make your favorites list. So then you can say, oh, I'm going to get some 96% lean ground beef. I'm going to eat it with some black beans and some broccoli, or black beans and collards, or whatever. And if you ever hear me say anything you don't like, please know half the time I'm saying something I don't like. Just mark it off your list, scratch it out of your head. You do not have to eat anything you don't like on planet Shibboleth. Okay. Let's recap. Category 1 plus 2, and this is something I didn't say yet, plus MCT, cooked up in MCT oil, is the fastest fat burning combination. So a lean protein, a fibrous carb, cooked up in MCT oil is the fastest fat burning combination. If you want to eat an energy carb, category 3, or fruit, category 5, you must eat it with a lean protein, either from category 1 or 7 and a category 2. And then we just don't eat category 4s with energy carbs, fruit, or superfoods. All meat at a restaurant should be considered a category 4. Think about this. If you cooked a piece of chicken breast at home, you'd cook it properly and it would be a lean protein. But at a restaurant, I can guarantee you they are not using MCT oil, coconut oil, ghee butter, or 0-calorie cooking spray. So basically what they're doing is they're taking a lean protein and they are cooking it in whatever oil they cook it in, and you got to call that a protein plus fat at that point, because they took a lean protein and they cooked fat into it. Now it's a protein plus fat. So all meat at a restaurant is considered a category 4. That'll keep you safe, because you now know that you will not order that category 4 with energy carbs, fruit, or superfoods. Now let's talk about MCT oil, which I have never bought another oil besides MCT oil since 2.5 years now. So I use 100% MCT oil. MCT stands for medium chain triglyceride. Medium chain triglyceride burns up like that. It has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. Let me say that again. It has almost no propensity to be stored on your body as fat. The other oils that we're probably using before Shibboleth, I know I was, olive oil, canola oil, vegetable oil, they are long chain triglycerides, and they have a great propensity to be stored on your body as fat. Which one do you want? I want the one that has almost no propensity. I'll take the MCT, thank you. So medium chain triglyceride, 100% is what you want to use for your oil. We do sell one. That brand name of it is Zero Drag. Zero Drag. If you're not going to use Zero Drag, Travis recommends the Now brand, NOW. But we sell the Zero Drag on our little website if you want to help support the Shibboleth store. Not a requirement. I like it when you do. Okay, coconut oil. That is your second recommended cooking oil. Coconut oil is 66% MCTs. It is not 100% MCTs. It's 66% MCTs. How do they get medium chain triglycerides? It's all MCTs pulled out of, most of the time, coconut oil. Could also be palm, but most of the time it's coconut oil. But they're just pulling out all the MCTs, and that's where you get the 100%. Ghee butter, Ghee butter. Ghee butter is, I don't spread ghee butter on my toast. If I'm going to use a toast, butter some toast, I use Brummel and Brown yogurt butter. That's what I use if I'm spreading butter on toast. If I'm making a grilled cheese, I use, I can't believe it's not butter spray. If I am making a recipe that calls for butter, that's when I use ghee butter. That's what I use, ghee butter, okay? And ghee butter is about 25% MCTs. But this ghee butter comes in very handy for those people who like shellfish and like to make shrimp scampi or dip lobster tail in butter or crab legs and all that kind of stuff. So ghee butter is a good option. And then you've got 0-calorie cooking spray. You can use all of those. I make the decision like this. If I'm going to cook a lean protein, I use MCT oil, 100% MCT oil. If I am cooking a protein plus fat, I don't need to add additional fats to it. It already has fat in it. That's when I use 0-calorie cooking spray. That's it. That's the decision. And then the, hang on, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so medium chain triglyceride. 1 tablespoon would be what you wouldn't want to go over 1 tablespoon if you were making yourself 1 piece of chicken. But if you're making, like for the family, 4 or 5 pieces of chicken, you could put 4 to 5 tablespoons in the pan, you know, to cook it up. All right, that's fine. But it's got about 130 calories in it. And if you look down and you think, well, why would I want to use something that's got 130 calories in it versus a 0-calorie cooking spray? Well, medium chain triglyceride used in an appropriate way for the nutritional situation that you're in, which is wanting to lose some excess body weight, it really has a metabolism building effect because it burns up fast, burns up like that in your body. When things burn up fast, it creates a heating up effect. The heating up effect will burn a few extra calories, okay? You're not hearing me say take it as a supplement to burn extra calories. It's just going to do its job when used and cooked appropriately. But MCT oil also has a muscle preserving effect. If you're eating like Shibboleth style, you're going to be also preserving muscles while you are losing weight. Not building, but preserving, okay? To build muscles, you have to be in a calorie surplus. To lose body weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit. You cannot build muscle and lose weight at the same time, but you can do the right things to preserve the muscle that is there, okay? Now, with the 0-calorie cooking spray versus the medium chain triglyceride, I just make that decision on which one I'm going to use. Oh, I know where I was going. I'm sorry. I'm losing my train of thought all of a sudden. And the medium chain triglyceride, though, we are not going to use it as a supplement. We're not going to make bulletproof coffee with it. We're not going to throw it in random shakes. There's a lot of noise out there about MCT oil right now, and that's because somebody's always trying to sell you something, okay? And they may be muscle builders that are going to go on stage in a few seconds, and they're taking MCT oil to, you know, pump their body up and all kinds of stuff because it does some really great things. But that's not how we need to use it. We're going to use it for 3 reasons only. Cooking in a pot, a pan, a grill, however you do it. Recipe swap. Because see, what Shibboleth is simply buying some new things at the grocery store and simply eating some new things on the plate together and switching your oils. It's just simple swaps. So recipe swap. And making approved salad dressings. Those 3 reasons. That's it. That's the only reasons to use MCT oil. Never feel like you need to get it in. You do not. If you are cooking up a meal and you need a cooking oil and it's a lean protein, then use it. If you're not, don't worry about it. All right. Oh, one last thing about that. If you are cooking, make sure that you cook on low to medium heat. Otherwise, it will set off your smoke detector. That's how fast it burns up. All right, we got 4 more slides, but they go super fast, okay? We want you to remain in EFB as often as possible. EFB stands for efficient fat burning. So we're striving for perfect days. It's really the way we should be eating anyway, okay? Striving for perfect days, but planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. So you have your holiday. Do you know there's no guilt? There is no guilt because it's part of the plan. You can utilize that in a month's time, but now you know what to do after the holiday. You get right back to business, okay? So then you want to have perfect days again, and then planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming. So what I like to say is get yourself an EFB streak. And then planned or unplanned, that holiday is coming, you get right back to business and you string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can again. And then planned or unplanned, a holiday is coming, and then you string as many efficient fat burning days together as you can. Sounds like life, right? Got to do something for life, and that sounds like a good, nice little cycle. After a holiday, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into efficient fat burning. When we are if y'all falling asleep, please wake up because I want y'all to hear this. It's very important. When we are in efficient fat burning, our body is going to burn fat. See, fat is just stored energy. It's a unit of energy that got overeaten on a day and did not get burned off, and it got stored. It's really just sitting there waiting to be used as energy. But the only way it can be used as energy is if we aren't giving it an overabundance of calories each day. Okay, we got to get into a calorie deficit to use that. So when we're in EFB, our body is going to burn fat, which is stored energy, for the energy that we need, rather than easily accessible sources of energy such as unapproved oils and starchy and sugary carbs. Think about this. If we are giving our body unapproved oils and starchy and sugary carbs, it's going to gnaw on that first, and it's not going to get to that stored energy and gnaw on it. We need it gnawing on the stored energy, okay? So if we're in EFB, that's what it's going to be doing. Let's recap what the insulin is. Insulin is the fat bus. Insulin is a growth hormone, a fat storage hormone. It also increases appetite. Has anybody ever eaten ice cream, then wanted chips, then wanted a cookie, and then wanted the pickle, and then you wanted to go back to ice cream, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my goodness, what is happening? That's because insulin sends your appetite off the charts. After an insulin release, fat storage will occur for up to 48 hours, meaning you're out of EFB. Hence the 2 days to get back into efficient fat burning, okay? That's why it takes 2 days. It's that insulin is dissipating. After the fat bus has been on its rounds, it takes 2 perfect days to get back into EFB. What are you going to eat this week? Well, you need to make a list of at least 7 favorite lean proteins and 7 favorite fibrous carbs. And just like when you were in elementary school and your teacher would say, match something from this side that will go with something from this side. And you're going to say chicken breast and broccoli, 96% lean ground beef and green beans. And these are very simple meals, but that's okay. Bring it back to simple and then expand from there, okay? Bring it simple and then we can expand in our knowledge. And you're going to be watching those Facebook posts and you're going to see all these things these folks are doing and you're going to learn from that. But in the beginning, just keep it super simple. And if you've got some MCT oil, throw that on there and make it be the fastest fat burning combination. We're going to learn about meal replacements this week, but you can also pick out some of those in the new member food library. Throw in a few meal replacements for simplicity. If you were eating Pop-Tarts before Shibboleth, we got to know what's going to work for you now in that same form, and we can help you with that. Keep it super simple in the beginning, and then you'll branch out. And just take advantage of our awesome resources. Make sure you're in the Facebook support groups, familiarize yourself with our awesome website, and make a mentor appointment. But I'm going to talk about that this coming Saturday, so you don't need to worry about it yet unless you just want to talk to somebody. And then focus on the fast track this week by working through each of the fast track laps. So I am going to go over there real quick and show you that. But welcome to the Shibboleth family. We are here for you. Let me show you something real quick. This is what y'all need to be working on. Okay. Fast track is the curriculum. I see your question, Amy. I'll answer it in just a second. It's a good question. Fast track is the curriculum. I clicked on dashboard and then fast track. If you're brand new, it's already popping up. Thank you, Michelle. It's already popping up to fast track. If you're not a brand new member, yours is probably coming up to the instructors page and you just click on fast track, okay? There's 7 laps. Look, lap 1, lap 2, lap 3, so forth. It's really kind of Sunday through Saturday. But I didn't put Sunday through Saturday on the tabs because some people get started on a Monday. They might as well just come to a Wednesday or whenever they start. They just need to come in here and get started on these laps. I do not go over lap 1 and 2 with y'all. You need to do those on your own. This might look like a long list. It is not. These are just checkoff boxes for you to get your account set up just right, get in all the Facebook groups that you need to be in, and so forth. This one is simply registering for the nightly webinars. See how I'm hovering my mouse over that task? That black box pops up. You read that black box. It tells you why you're doing that task and if there's anything special that you need to know about doing that task. Then you click there and you do the task. You come back here and you check that box. And if you are on a phone, if you're on a phone but you have access to a computer, you might like looking at this on a computer just a little bit better while you're learning the curriculum. Okay, but if you're on a phone or an iPad, if you hover if you lightly tap the information I at the end of the task, the black box will pop up for you. See these little 14 fast track videos? This is just part of the laps. It's just one task. It'll take you less than 1 hour to watch all 14 little videos. And then you check the box. From here, do you see where it says welcome packet and guidelines? This is your welcome packet. We did not send a welcome packet in an email. Your welcome email sent you to fast track. So this from welcome packet all the way to meal plan worksheet are printables that you can print. If you do not have a printer, you can just read them. You can make notes on separate paper, and you can use these to make templates for your own thing on paper. But this is where you're going to find a lot of food ideas, okay? The new member food library is where you're going to scan to pick up your favorite lean proteins, your favorite fibrous carbs, and so forth, okay? Then from here to here is just joining Facebook groups and liking those. All 4 of those tasks will take you less than 30 seconds to do all of that. In lap 2, this is getting your profile all set up. This website is amazing. And if you give it data, it can crunch numbers and create fun graphs and all kinds of things. If you don't give it the data, it cannot and won't. So this is just making sure that you have everything set up just right. And this is also where I house the 7 nightly webinars. See right there where it says watch the daily fast track webinar. So if you miss one, that's where it'll be. And then there is a quiz. You take this quiz before you go to lap 3, because if you don't take this quiz, when you get to lap 3, you will not be looking at the full food library. You'll be looking at a smaller new member food library, because we open up and give you full access to the food library, the recipe library, and the restaurant guide once we know that you've got some basic understanding down. So you want to at least pass that quiz, okay? And then I do go over lap 3 through lap 7 on Tuesday night through Saturday night. And this is me shortening your learning curve on learning the website. Okay, so I do want you to join me back. And Amy asked a great question. Amy's question is, where does working out fall into all of this? Working out is wonderful. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate that. Working out is excellent, but this is what I want to say about working out. If you are not already an exerciser, you don't need to worry about that right now. You don't need to add 2 new things into your life at one time. And usually you can't do 2. I mean, most people can't. It's 90% nutrition anyway. So let's do the nutrition first. And then typically once people get some weight off, then they want to exercise. But if you are already an exerciser and it is not new to you, it is already part of your lifestyle, please keep on doing it. Please keep on doing it. Okay, so but you don't necessarily get extra food for working out. See, working out will just help you get into a calorie deficit so that you can lose more weight, but you don't get extra food because of it. And if you got a trainer that is saying that you need extra food to do working out, I would say that you follow us for a little bit, get where you need to be, then you go back and listen to him possibly. Yes, good, Amy, good. Teresa, can you give me the phone or text number for Travis, my Jason, and Kimmy? Okay, so I can tell that you have been watching the Fast Track videos because it says to text those 3 things there. You're not going to worry about texting Kimmy. I don't send out any texts. Sending out these texts is very, very expensive. And so I save it for Travis and Jason because I'm the same every night, 7:30 every night. And I do 7:30-ish, 7:40-ish Monday through Friday morning. But the number is 888-831-1207. And that number is actually listed in lap 7 of Fast Track. So you would eventually gotten there too, but I can tell that you have listened to that older video. See, Teresa, that video was made a long time ago and the number had to change due to some FCT or FTC or whatever I don't know, you know, those kind of letters, those acronyms, they changed things on us. And so we had to, you're welcome, Tamar. I'm so glad you're better. Tell Ryan hello too. So we had to change the number, Teresa, and remaking that video is a pain in the rear. And so I just haven't done it yet, but I did correct it in lap 7. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to tell y'all a little tip. I go to Planet Fitness, not to exercise, but I go to Planet Fitness to get in the hydro bed and the total body enhancement machine, and it dries my hair. Look at this. The total body enhancement machine dries my hair because it's got a little body ventilation system in there, which is kind of fun. Okay, last but not least, keep them safe day and night. Give them courage, strength, and might. That's my prayer for you, okay? The Shibboleth shield will keep you safe, and you got to have courage, strength, and might because we're changing habits and improving lives. Good, Beth. I'm glad you're here. You're welcome, Teresa. All right, y'all have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7:30. Bye.